Today on Locked On Phoenix Suns, the blowout we've all been waiting for as the Suns get another sweet, sweet win over the Los Angeles Lakers at home at Footprint Center in the return of Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. How they did it, why it felt so good, and more from the game next.
You are Locked On Suns, your daily Phoenix Suns podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Suns. I'm Brendon, Kleen, a staff writer at Awful Announcing and a credentialed Suns media member. Thank you for making Locked On Suns your first listen. Late on Tuesday, early on Wednesday, it is a winning Wednesday. Wherever you're finding us, whenever you're finding us, don't forget Locked On Suns is free and available on all podcast platforms, including YouTube. So click that follow or subscribe button. Do what thousands of other Suns fans have already done. Become an everydayer and get locked onto the Phoenix Suns right here each and every day. Today's episode, guys, is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 per month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. All right, joining me as always from here at Footprint Center as I am barking over the music.
I know, man.
My fellow Suns credentialed media member, how are we feeling? Late Tuesday here after this win, Ben Garcia.
That's kind of like the fun of being here after every game is me and you battling the elements. But I think the listeners and the everydayers enjoy that. Like, they know we're there. They know we're watching. We literally have to watch the game. But I will start off today, Brendon, by asking you and every everydayer that's listening a trivia question. Who was the last team to beat the Los Angeles Lakers in an NBA Cup game?
It's never happened.
It has never happened. History was made tonight. The Suns defeat the Los Angeles Clippers in an NBA Cup game
Lakers.
for the first. Who did I say?
Clippers.
Ah, whatever. Both garbage.
They beat the Clippers already, too.
Both garbage organizations beat the Los Angeles Lakers in an NBA Cup game for the first time ever, which is the most
reigning NBA Cup champion.
That basically makes us Cup champions. Hang up the damn banner, Brendon. Hang up the damn banner after that ass kicking.
It was a wonderful one.
It was a good time. It was a good
Not
time.
seeing this team again until March, but obviously the Suns go 2-1 early in the season here in their three matchups against this Lakers team. This one wasn't close. I don't even think I've said the final score, 127-100. Let's not waste any time getting to our moments of the game here. Mine is this, it was, I believe, a 19-2 run at one point. It ends on a 26-8 run to close out the third quarter for the Suns, led in large part by Devin Booker, who scored 9 straight points midway through this quarter, pull-up three, getting to the free throw line, scoring over Austin Reeves. Third quarters were the bread and butter of this team. I mean, I know we all harped on the late game clutch moments and everything, but these third quarters were exactly when they made their mark on that winning streak. It was really nice to just see them fully hit the ground running, not only with the win and everybody playing well, but the how of it. That's called making an identity, and it felt like, okay, flush that losing streak down the toilet. That stretch in the third quarter, it was like, all right, this is just Suns basketball. We're back to it, and we can finally get back to the real season now that everybody's healthy.
And it's not just something that you can bank on because this team comes out with a firepower and an ability to just outscore teams. That is also a credit to Mike Budenholzer, that consistently at halftime, he is not just drinking lemonade and having orange slices to get ready for the next half. He is making adjustments that are clearly working and that show when the playoffs come around, he has the ability to do that for this team. And so I think this is just as much a credit to the Suns as it is the Suns coaching staff and Mike Budenholzer in particular. So that is something immediately that I had noticed too about this team, is that they come out of the second half just firing on all cylinders.
Doubled the Lakers up.
I would much rather have that than the other way around. I'd much rather be talking about slow starts than really sloppy finishes. And it's not to say the Suns have had slow starts. They went into the half with a lead.
Yeah.
But they went into the half with the lead and then showed up and just steamrolled this team. And that has been a trend throughout the beginning of the season, it almost feels like the season stopped for 5-6 days.
I will tell you, it felt
we
like
just came
that
back.
watching games and doing this podcast. So
Well, yeah, and so like when all these guys came back, everything just felt easier, just felt better. I'm not sure. I mean, it just felt like the offense moved better. And it felt like seeing Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal out there, it almost had that Tyus Jones effect where everyone was breathing lighter because those guys were out there. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you felt too, but that's how I felt about it.
yeah, look, I mean, we'll dig through a lot of the rest of it, but that stretch just felt like a perfect example of how easy it can look. But what was yours?
So for me, it wasn't necessarily, like, saying moment, I don't think it was a moment of like what swung the game in either way. For me, it was like hey guys, we're back. That Bradley Beal chase down block on LeBron James, I was like, oh, the Bradley Beal that we talked about, his defense taking a step up, him not taking plays off. I joked with the guy next to me and said, hey buddy, why don't you slow it down? We kind of need you for the rest of the season. But that block on LeBron kind of showed me like, hey guys, take a deep breath. We're back and we can boat race teams. And that is not just like a symbolic moment in the game where they were already going to win. They were up double digits. They were killing this team. It was like a symbolic moment for everyone that was saying, I saw it on Twitter, I saw it on social media, oh, this team can't beat the Knicks. They can't be competitive without these two other guys. Yeah, any team without two All-Stars is going to be significantly worse. And that was my argument for it. So that's kind of where I was at with it.
Absolutely. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game. That's when that block happened on a breakaway layup for LeBron, and he kind of gave it a second look like, did I just get blocked like that? I mean,
I thought he was hurt.
Father Time is kind of, sneaking up on LeBron slowly but surely, and he probably, frankly, didn't expect it from Bradley Beal, who has not always been that kind of player, but when you talk about picking up where this team left off, that's how he's been playing this season, and so it wasn't a surprise if you've been watching this Suns team. But coming off of a calf strain and with all the inconsistencies on the defensive end that we know this team fell into last year for sure, and it was rough during that injury-riddled stretch, it's just nice to remember they're getting this version of Beal, and it's kind of just how we have to build into what we expect from this group, and doesn't seem like the injury took that away from them at all.
Between the big three, which I know there are some people that like to say it's not a big three, it absolutely is.
Like that guy who comments first on every video we publish?
So Nacho, that's who that is. That's the person that everyone thinks is my burner. That's because sometimes he'll say nice things about me. Okay. That's the people that's which I want people to think that. I think that's hilarious.
Shout out, love you, everydayer, but
it is a big three. It's a big
okay
three.
To say that.
Like
I don't know.
But out of those three guys, Bradley Beal to me, and they were all offensively roughly the same guy. Even Booker had a plus, basically 30 in the plus minus, which is a weird stat. You really have to watch the game to understand it. But I thought Beal tonight was by far and away the best player. Offensively, he looked spry. Defensively, he was really good. Well, and he just looked healthy. He was
put in a bad spot to start the game because they ran the same exact set twice, and then he got like a hot potato corner three. And he ended up having to take two bad shots. One, he got a nice pass off in the very first possession. Then he took the two quick kind of forced shots just because you had to. And it's like, all right, that's a rough way to start the game from a rhythm standpoint. But then what does he do? He knocks down 2 threes immediately and ends up with the most efficient line of anybody in this whole entire game, in addition to some of those defensive moments. So absolutely shout out to him. What I wanted to go back to momentarily on the third quarter, because I wasn't sure if you might go there, which is why I left it open-ended and didn't do the whole third quarter and whatnot. Yusuf Nurkic came out and scored 9 points on 5 straight field goal attempts to open this quarter.
It's not possible, Brendon.
It reminded me a lot of the Dallas game because he did basically the exact same thing in that game where he was up and down in the first half. Dallas said, we're just going to go small, we're going to switch, we're going to not really treat you as a threat. And Bud has shown that he's not going to bail early. I mean, we've seen him bench Nurk, we've seen him go away from him, all that stuff we've talked about, but this team was trying to switch Rui Hachimura onto him and different things like that, and he even made a 3 in this stretch to kind of start off what became that avalanche in the third quarter, so wanted to shout Nurk out as well. Let's get to our lessons of the game. This one felt very good. There's a whole lot more to get to. What are we going away from this one really feeling and thinking after this 27-point win by the Suns? All that coming up next. First, today's show is brought to you by Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 per month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Today's show also brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Get ready to tackle the NFL action all season long with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. I'm looking at the odds that Ben so graciously pulled up as I was speaking, and Boise State, minus 1,100 favorites. They got to shore up that conference and cement their spot in the college football playoff. Oregon State, come on. Somebody asked me what Oregon State, my wife asked me, what's their mascot? I don't even know how it came up. And I said the Beavers, and she said that's lame. So that tells you all you need to know. Boise State can take care of business. Get started yourself with that Boise State team with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel, all at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, Ben, let's keep it rolling here. So, lesson of the game. Why don't you kick us off? Looking at Yusuf Nurkic tweeting at Kellen Olson.
Did you see that at all today?
I just saw it.
So I wanted to bring it up, which we can get back to our lesson of the game just really quickly. But Kellen Olson, who does really good work for Arizona Sports, really nice guy. He's here every night, just like Brendon and I. He tweeted, "The Nurkic situation is pretty much in Gino Suarez territory now, except I don't think he's going to put up a 1. OPS the rest of the year." And so basically, Yusuf Nurkic quote tweeted that and said, "Interesting take, Kellen." What I think Kellen Olson was getting at was, at one point in the season, Eugenio Suarez was unplayable, and then at one point in the season, he was like the best player in baseball. Yeah. So he's basically calling Yusuf Nurkic very hot and cold, which I don't mean to go after Kellen because I know he's smart and I know he knows this, but duh. That is what Yusuf Nurkic has always been. He's been hot, he's been cold.
Well, you say duh, but Nurk is basically saying that that's not true.
No, yeah, but Nurk is saying, what is Nurk going to say, though, that he doesn't, like, all
right, well, I'll just say if I was going to flex my you-know-what after a game, I probably would pick one where I did a little better than 12 and 12
yeah, I wouldn't do that.
5 of 11 shooting.
I am
Nurk's
not.
had some great games. I don't know if this was the day to get into the mentions.
I am Team Yusuf Nurkic. I'm not on Team Yusuf Nurkic when it comes to this. Be mature, be humble, be the guy that is, I will even say, an overpaid center and do your job, but he has been mostly a very good leader for this team. He backs his guys, but that interesting take, Kellen, shows you he's still a little sensitive to the fact that people
and that he likes to search his own name on Twitter. But what is your lesson of the game?
I apologize. My lesson of the game. Now we're getting off of that, but that was very interesting.
That could be a lesson.
That was stay off of Twitter.
Is feeling himself. Yeah.
My lesson of the game, and this is not sexy, but it needs to be reminded, is that the team that we were watching a week ago was not the Phoenix Suns, and I think. I admit, and the only reason why I'm saying that now, and I kind of thought about it with a couple of different things, but I had mentioned this last week where we lost to the Knicks, and even I was pissed off, but I told the fans, hey guys, we're going to be okay. This is not the team, right? And still, it's hard to see that. Fan is short for fanatic. They emote, they erupt. We saw tonight, that was not that team. This is a completely different team. With Kevin Durant and with Bradley Beal and with everyone healthy, they are one of the best teams in the NBA, and in my opinion, a championship contender, and potentially even a championship favorite with how good we've seen with everyone. Without them, they're awful. Like they're awful. And I don't think that was a fluke either. But that is the subscription we signed up for with this team. We're gonna ride the highs, and when it goes down, it's gonna suck. But if this team can put it together for a 2.5 month stretch or 2 month stretch, they can easily be the best team in basketball. And I think that was a reminder tonight that we needed to hear, that I don't believe that is going to be the first time I say that, but I do believe it needed to be said tonight because they could have easily lost tonight. Good team, and they didn't. They came out and picked up right where they left off, and that is a really big win. What about you?
Huge win. I think that they really, really needed this one. I didn't want to overhype it when we talked on Monday. Oh, everybody's coming back. This is a big week, blah, blah, blah. But they needed to win this game.
I was worried they were going to lose.
And they did. Mine is how they won the game. This is the blowout we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
We talked all through that winning streak. Okay, it feels good. It's nice. This team is having, these super highlight-worthy and fun moments to watch, but why can't they just blow the doors off of even a Philly team without Embiid or Miami who's up and down and pretty mediocre overall, and even some of the good teams they played, they had leads and then it became close at the end. Here you go. We talked about the third quarter run, but you mentioned getting off to a hot start in the first quarter. Even in the fourth quarter, I should say, not letting off the gas was all really big, and a few things within that. The three-point shooting. This is why you take threes. It's not just because it's like a cool number to look at every night or because Mike Budenholzer tells you to. It's because if you take 8 more than your opponent and you have even a good night, this wasn't even like some kind of record-setting three-point night, 17 to 42, 41%, that's good. Your best players get involved on that. You're getting 27 more points than the Lakers just off of threes. And then you look at the balance is the last part of it to me. All 3 of the big 3 in 20 plus, all 3 shooting 50+% from the field. This is, I think, why we wanted a blowout, because we knew it was what they were capable of, and this is how they're going to get there. And honestly, we probably should see another one tomorrow night, if we're being honest.
So very kind of funny, but I was... Tonight we weren't sitting next to each other. I don't know if you specifically asked for that to happen, but we weren't. But that doesn't stop the power of texting. And I texted you and I was like, oh my goodness, the Suns are taking this point differential thing way too freaking seriously. Get them out of the game. And you just texted back, NBA Cup, baby, which made me laugh. The Suns could have been pulled 5 minutes sooner in this game, and Kevin Durant wouldn't have had 30 minutes and whatever, these guys haven't played
to
in
jump
a week
on that. That's also the byproduct of when you do. Yes, they left them in a little bit too long, but still, Durant at 30, Beal at 27. That's a nice way to get them back comfortable in after the injury.
And even
too.
like Ryan Dunn, if he's like what we think he is, if he's playing 15 minutes a night, that's what we want to see. Him contributing in key factors situationally, but not having to play 25 minutes out of necessity. And here's the thing I would ask you. Because I didn't even think about this, man. It just felt like a very easy win. I'm kind of floored that I'm asking this because it's the first game back with everyone healthy. Was this the best game the Suns played all year?
Yeah.
Was this the most complete game? Because we were waiting for that. And not blowouts don't necessarily mean the best game. If they would have done this to the Trailblazers, which they did for 3 quarters, I would still think this game was better because of the opponent, because of the situation.
Well, the Blazers, and I forgot about that one too.
Yeah, but they didn't blow them out. They blew that one.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess that's what I would just ask you.
This is, I think it is. And to one-up it even from there, I saw Mike Vigil of the Timeline podcast tweet that this was the best game of the big 3 altogether ever since beginning of last season when they first took the court together. And I kind of had in the back of my head the Kings game at the end of the regular season, where they kind of saved the 6th seed, and Beal does the thing with Amanda Pflugrad afterward and all that stuff.
It's time, Amanda.
Exactly.
It's time.
That's probably the one that I would have said before, but the stats are comparable because I went back and looked at that box score. So the efficiency tonight, the defensive moments we talked about, the blowout win rather than a nail biter. It's one of it's the best one of this season, and it is one of the better wins I think we've seen this team put together with this core. So, how could you not be excited?
It was absolutely, I mean, to put it in a weird term, just exquisite to see everyone back. That was what we needed to see. I feel so much better about the season because when you just go through that dark place, Aaron Rodgers style, for 5 days, it was hard, man. I mean, even me, I was preaching patience, and even I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able just to pick this back up. We just need guys to stay healthy. And what other thing, just like a minor lesson that I was kind of fighting with on what I wanted it to be, Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant were clearly a lot more healthier than we thought. They were just being very cautious, which I don't know. Ask me at the end of the season if that is a good thing that the Suns did or a bad thing the Suns did. I got to see where they end up in the standings because maybe some of those games they should have won go differently. But it was nice for me to see, like, Bradley Beal getting on that chase down block. Like, he doesn't do that if he's 80%. So both guys seem to be very healthy, and who knows, maybe some much needed rest, I guess.
Bench mob vibe check magic number to round things out before we get out of here for the day. After a 127-100 Phoenix Suns win, we'll get to the closeout next. First, today's show is brought to you by Built. If you're a renter, now is the time to start taking advantage of Built. Here's the thing, we earn points on groceries, travel, and practically everything else we buy, but we should also be earning points on rent, one of our biggest monthly expenses. Built changed the game by letting renters earn high-value points on rent and around their neighborhood. There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world where you can redeem your Built points. Points can also be redeemed toward a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members have access to. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com, joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA. That's joinbilt.com/LockedOnNBA. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNBA to start earning points on your rent payments today. All right, Ben, let's close it out. Reminder, sign up for the Locked On Suns daily newsletter. Click the link in the show description below or go to LockedOnDaily.com. Type your email address in. Get Suns and NBA analysis straight to your inbox every day and support the show best of all. Bench mob vibe check. A couple of things that stuck out to me. One, we're back to no Monte Morris minutes. Actually, 3 things stuck out to me. 2, Oso playing more minutes than Mason Plumlee. I think we should talk about that. And
really good tonight.
3, something I kind of talked about while the big 2 of the big 3 were out and Grayson started to maybe come on a little bit, is he sucked when they were all healthy. Now he's back, so he's getting the second most minutes of this bench over a guy like Ryan Dunn. Josh Okogie not even involved. So out of those 3 changes or trends, which one sticks out to you?
Not even close. Oso Ighodaro was very good tonight. Oso Ighodaro, how do I say this? Because I don't want to say he played like a vet, because that's something you really got to earn. He plays like a very mature basketball player. And I am starting to eat my words, which I'm totally okay with. Again, not loyal to take. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I didn't see it in the preseason with Oso. I thought it was a lot of fandom to really just get excited about a second-round player. He's really good tonight, man. And there were multiple scenarios where defensively and offensively, yeah, he had 7 points tonight. But a second round pick, scoring 7 points, and they all felt impactful. And at times when he was guarding Anthony Davis, I didn't think got bullied like he used to. That is maturity, that is growth, and that is only over 17 games. He is going to force himself into this lineup and potentially, I don't even want to get down this rabbit hole, but potentially force the Suns to make a trade of one of their 2 centers. I won't even say who, but probably one in particular. That they just feel a lot better about him, and he was really good, man. He was really good tonight. And that's why Suns fans, they don't play Bol Bol. They feel better about Oso Ighodaro 17 games in than they do about Bobo over the last 2 years. So, Oso, without a doubt. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's worth talking about him for sure. It has to be selective, right? And so what surprised me today is that they were comfortable, that Bud was comfortable putting him out there in the game against Anthony Davis. Now, I say that, AD did the same thing he did the last time the Lakers were here. Disappearing act. Oh crap, this is a big Anthony Davis game. Watch out, he's about to eat the Suns' souls. And then Peter's out over the course of the game. So maybe it's just kind of a dare of saying, okay, yeah, AD's kind of a force, but we'll put our undersized rookie out there and dare Davis to do what he did in that NBA Cup championship game, for instance, and just beast his way through a full game, and he's not going to, and they make that bet. But you just look at the weird thing about Oso, too, is I was looking through some of the numbers as you were talking. The defense is what's been better with him out there, which I wouldn't think, because his passing, his finishing, his whatever, that stuff seems to be translating versus his defense, where that size can kind of come up against him. So I'm still closely watching it. I don't feel like I have a grasp on exactly what the Oso Ighodaro experience is going to be, but the numbers and the production don't lie.
I still don't think I will stand by this, because I think this is going to, I don't think this is too much for Ryan Dunn, but I do think it is going to be too much for Oso Ighodaro to be this guy. I don't, like, if he's going to be a playoff rotational piece, it's going to be this because the Suns played 9 deep, or because they traded Jusuf Nurkic. I don't think either of those things are going to happen. I just don't. So when I say he's been so much better than I thought, I still don't think he's going to be an all-star, but I do think he has continued to show that he is going to be a capable NBA player for years to come in the second round, and just doing very mature things. And it's obvious from the eye test that the defense has gotten better. And at times, he forced Anthony Davis to be a shooter, which I don't know why. Anthony Davis loves to shoot. He's not an atrocious shooter, but he eats it down low. And he played really well tonight, man. I am really surprised by his development over 17 games.
All right, magic number before we wrap up. I just had the fast break points, 19 for the Suns, only 5 for the Lakers. That's a category the Lakers need to feast on. That's a big reason why they only had 100 points tonight. If they're not getting out in transition, turning defense into offense, it's just not going to happen for them to score enough points to be in these games. And on the other side, the Suns being able to do that, I think that's a big part of why somebody like Bradley Beal, even Grayson Allen, you look at 31 assists for the Suns, that disparity of who was able to really dominate in transition, I think was a big reason this game went the way that it did.
Yeah, I got one. This is so stupid, but I think it's worth noting because we've had problems with it, and I thought about it earlier in the game. The Suns were 7 for 8 from free throws today. So I know it says 8 for 10, but I don't count either of Josh Okogie's free throws that were late in the game. But they were 7 for 8. Devin Booker's the only one that missed one. I know it's only 7 for 8, but the Suns had been missing a lot of free throws recently, so it's kind of nice to see that.
What's funny about that is it's just right before, I didn't want to mention it and start the show off with like a weird negative, but right before that run that I did as my moment of the game where Book scored 9 straight and they got off to that close of the third quarter and got that huge lead, he missed a free throw that got called off because of a lane violation, so it actually could have been worse. So maybe the refs did them a favor and said, hey, well, you guys have been struggling. We'll give you a redo, a mulligan on that one. And
they were doing they were paying us back for the Timberwolves game.
Yeah.
They figured a lane violation would do that.
Not quite. Yeah, we're going to need more payback, I think, down the rest of the season for stealing a literal win from the Suns' clutches in Minnesota. But I'll take it.
Let me just say one other thing before we go. For the people that are still listening, it feels like the music has gotten louder since we started sitting down. And I meant to mention this like 3 episodes ago. Someone said to me, I think it might have been you, man, Steve Kerr was right. This place is a club, and it doesn't leave my brain now. Oh, yeah. Oftentimes I'm working and I have my cancellation headphones in.
And you can still hear it.
I can still hear it very loud, but then I take them out and it's like anarchy in my ears. It is so loud in here. I do not know how either team, even the Suns, I don't know how they're drawing up plays or talking to each other. It is so loud. Steve Crow is absolutely right. It is a club in here, and I wanted to get that off my chest. So the music in the background, I felt like I was screaming this entire time, but it was good. It was good. Just wild.
Yeah, it brings more energy to the show. We'll give them that. Maybe that's how Book and KD kind of get hyped as well. But what I'm wondering is what is happening on the court.
I don't know.
A bunch of
this is
kids,
not the first time.
Teenagers from North Scottsdale with their hype beast clothes on, shooting hoops. I don't know who any of these people are and why they're here, but
let's go down there and see if we can get on.
I'll let you do another post-game recap video with these guys. I'm gonna go home.
We could take them. Look at some of these kids. They're in all. We're gonna get in trouble. You know what? You don't have to get in trouble for this. I'll do it.
They're cutting the net like they won the national championship.
Yeah, dude. They're all in designer clothes, especially the kids on that side.
That's what I'm saying. They're hype beasts. I don't get it.
Dude, they are cutting the nets.
I don't know what's going on here. And the kid with the Kobe jersey.
He's got a Kobe jersey. Hey, buddy, get off there.
None of it makes any sense. All right, that'll wrap us up. Hit follow, subscribe if you haven't already. Become an everydayer. We'll have more shows for you throughout the week. I don't think we'll have an immediate recap for Suns Nets, but that's okay. You forgive us ahead of time. We'll probably do something Thursday or Friday midday, and then a recap of the Warriors game on Saturday. That's a big one. You'll want to stay tuned. So again, hit that button wherever you're finding us, and we will talk to you throughout the week. Enjoy the holiday.